All right, everybody. That officer that pulled me over and said that this thing was not an electrically assisted bicycle because he says he looked it up and it was rated over 20 miles an hour and he caught me doing 24. But the instruction manual rates it at 20 miles an hour. 24 was apparently just a malfunction or something, you know? I mean, and these pedals, they're real. They're functional. This is a bicycle. This thing is what they call 500 watts or 2/3 horsepower. The legal limit on these bicycles is 700 watts or 1 horsepower. That's 500. That's only 2/3 of the rated power. The reason why it can, again, the instructions tell you you're supposed to start pedaling it and then engage the motor by design. It just happens to be a deluxe model with a lot of torque. So if I decide I don't want to pedal, the bicycle can compensate for that if I should choose to do that. But the fact that it's got enough torque to do that, just simply because it's, you know, a deluxe model, shouldn't exclude it from being a bicycle. In fact, it should actually make them happier because I can accelerate quicker, causing less traffic problems. Okay? This is what I'm talking about over here. Okay, look. This is a bicycle. Okay, this is a bicycle. Okay. You see this? Trunk, pedals, and mirror. Attach the left and right foot pedals according to the correct side by lining up the pedal, the bearing on the pedal shaft, and snap into place. And there it is right there. Oh, that looks just like the one on mine, doesn't it? Oh my. And see, look, there's a picture. And let's see the product specifications. Motor wattage, 500 watts or 2/3 horsepower. Top speed, 20 miles per hour. It's a bicycle. Now, what's really fucked up and retarded about this goddamn bitch-ass police officer that doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense? Like I said, he said I could drive the bike up to 15 miles per hour on the sidewalk. Last time I checked, regular bicycles weren't even allowed on the sidewalk. That's for pedestrian only now. Right side of right lane is where bicycles belong if there's not a bike lane, unless you're walking it. So he said I could drive in the grass on the shoulder of the road, which is ridiculous because what happens when I come to an intersection, then I have to touch a pavement. He literally says what I have to do is get out and walk the bike anytime it touches a road, because the moment it touches a road and that electric motor's turned on, I'm a criminal and I need to be arrested. I said, okay, well, what if I don't run the motor? Okay, anyway, what I was saying was, so yeah, so I ride it in the grass. I come to an intersection, which would literally be every block in town, and so I'd have to hop off this thing and walk it across the intersection. Or I asked him, what if I pedal it without the motor running? According to him, that's legal. But let me tell you something. Okay, again, this is why this is all about technicality and law, and why this officer is so bent on fucking me, because I'm smart. Okay? Fuck. I hate it when this happens. Oh yeah. This bicycle is designed to operate with the pedals or the motor. That's why it's electrically assisted. And it's a bicycle because it has the pedals that function. Thing is, it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. In fact, actually, no. It's actually it's actually more like a 2-to-3 ratio. I'm not kidding. Or I mean a 3-to-2. Every time I pedal 3 times, the tire rotates like once. Because the front sprocket's this big and the back sprocket's this big. And anybody who knows, you know, multi-gear mountain bikes know that that's the exact opposite for speed. But that's what's required to accelerate that bicycle so that function works correctly. Thing is, I'm only going to be able to go like 1.5 to 2 miles an hour, maybe 2.5 miles an hour, pedaling that thing. And I'm only going to last a couple hundred feet doing that. And so, that's what he would prefer me to do. Pedal this thing 2 to 300 feet at a time at 2.5 miles an hour on the right side of the right lane with my pedals hanging out on this thing. Instead of just, you know, doing the 15 to 20 miles an hour along. Or, my other option for operating my bike outside of private property, according to this officer, I can walk it along the walking, you know, where you walk on the left side of the left lane. I can walk it like a pedestrian, which is going to be even slower. It's going to be even less than a mile an hour. And I hate to say it, but with the way this thing works, I actually last longer pushing it than I do pedaling it. Now, what's really going to be fucked up about this whole thing? Oh good, I'm still recording. What's going to be really cool about this whole thing, like I said, is that means that I'm going to be walking against traffic at 1 mile an hour with me and this big ass wide bicycle with these pedals hanging out the side, walking against traffic at like 1 mile an hour. Do you see the insanity and the idiocy of this officer? How absolute nonsense this motherfucker speaks to me, and then but yet he says that I don't know that, but I don't know what I'm talking about when I just fucking showed you this shit right here. Fucking 20 miles per hour. Bam. I might even be able to find it. Let's see. When starting off from a standstill. Oh, yeah, perfect. When starting off from a standstill, pedal bicycle up to speed and then engage throttle for best results. See? According to the instructions, it's designed to do what I just said. Pedal it up to 1 mile an hour or 2 and hit the motor. I'll spend a lot of money on it. And so they gave me the option to not need that. All right, let's see if I win.